For instance, if you go to July 26th on the calendar, it says start. Can you read that? Is that?
You start, yes.
And then what is it? Do you know what that means underneath? Or what it says?
Yeah, it says 2 irons, 2 vitamins.
It says what?
2 iron, 2 vitamins, has an L and an E.
Do you know what the L and the E stand for? Would it be the liquid and the EPL?
Liquid and EPL. It says 1, I think this is what the F, which is flaxseed oil, and 1 B12.
Okay. And on that day, did you take a B12 shot? Do you recall? Were you withdrawn? Were you given a B12 shot on that day? I'll withdraw that.
I don't know.
On that day, did you take? Well, are you aware B12 can be taken both
Verbally and rejected.
Let me just get it on the record. Sorry. Are you aware that B12 can be taken both orally and through injection?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall this B12 that it's referring to? Those are the oral B12 tablets, correct?
I would say yes. I believe so, yes.
Okay. And you said flaxseed oil. You weren't given flaxseed oil, were you?
I don't know.
Sorry?
I said I don't know.
Well, as we sit here today, do you recall?
It says flaxseed oil right here, so maybe I was given flaxseed oil.
So as we sit here today, is it your recollection that you were given flaxseed oil at this meeting at July 26, 2003 by Victor Conti?
Object to the form. I don't think that's what he said.
Okay. At this meeting, do you recall if did anyone, well, let me ask you a question. You think it's flaxseed oil because it says F? Could it be folic acid?
It could be. I'm not sure of the F. Like I said, I mean, this calendar was I've seen it, but it was given to Daryl Hudson, and he, he's the one that dealt with the calendar.
I gotcha. Yeah. But as we sit here today, do you recall on July 23rd, 2006, was flaxseed oil mentioned at this meeting or at any time when you were with Victor Conti?
Was it July 23rd or July 26th?
Well, when was your meeting with Victor Conti?
July 26th.
Okay, so it's July 26th. If I said July 23rd, I apologize. I meant the 26th. On your July 26th meeting with 2003 with Victor Conti, was flaxseed oil ever discussed?
It was discussed.
And who discussed it?
Victor Conti, Victor.
And what did he say? What did he say about it?
I guess it's oil, like for your joints in your arms or muscles, whatever. Yeah.
And had you ever, prior to July 26, 2003, had you ever used flaxseed oil?
No.
Okay.
Maybe something similar, but no. No flaxseed oil.
And in fact, did Victor Conti mention it, flaxseed oil, in the context of a cover story?
Object to the form of the question.
A cover story. Did Victor Conti ever hand Daryl or you a bottle and say, look, this is flaxseed oil?
No, I mean, it's probably something like flaxseed oil, maybe referring to the liquid. But flaxseed oil was mentioned, that you use, for the vitamins to take. I guess it's more like for a natural fats or something like that. I don't know. But this is something that Daryl would, go over and look at. So.
Right, but in December of 2003, when you testified in front of the grand jury, didn't you tell them that it was called flaxseed oil, but you knew it wasn't?
It was something like flaxseed oil, but it wasn't actually flaxseed oil. But this right here, this could have been flaxseed oil right here that he gave me.
What is, when you say here, what do you mean? So just for the record.
Well, I say here on the calendar, this could be flaxseed oil.
The F?
The
Is that what you're saying?
The F could be flaxseed oil here on the calendar on July 26th that I taken that day. I don't know.
Could it be folic acid too?
It could be folic acid.
Well, why did you tell the grand jury that you were giving something that was to be referred as flaxseed oil, even though you knew it wasn't?
Wait, objection. If you want to
I'll
read
ask
him his
you-
grand jury
I can ask
testimony,
him.
it's fine.
What did you tell the grand jury
Well, it
about
says
flaxseed oil?
something like flaxseed oil. So it's the liquid was considered to be. It was flaxseed oil. Well, it was like flaxseed oil, but it wasn't flaxseed oil.
So do you have any idea, as we sit here today, why you would refer to it as flaxseed oil, even though it wasn't flaxseed oil?
No, I mean that's something you probably have to ask Victor. I don't know.
Well, did Victor tell you it's not flaxseed oil, but we're going to call it flaxseed oil?
He did say that.
And did you ask him why he would be referring it to flaxseed oil if it wasn't?
Because it's something that's like flaxseed oil.
And
Absolutely.
did you ask him what exactly it was? If it
That works with everything that he's given me.
right, but why didn't you ask him? Well, if it's not flaxseed oil, what is it?
Well, that's like so that's something that Daryl Hudson was. That was his role. That's what he was supposed to be doing, as far as the vitamins and stuff was concerned.
So you're suggesting at that meeting that the reason you didn't ask is because you relied on Daryl Hudson?
Object to the form of the question.
No, I asked questions, but some of the questions a lot of things that I don't know that was Daryl's expertise, me being a fighter. I figured, if he said it was all right, and if Victor gave the okay, of it being all right, being that both of these guys are, he's a specialist in the vitamins and stuff, and Daryl's the trainer, then I should be all right.
But you didn't think to determine what it actually was. When I say it, I mean the thing they said was like flaxseed oil.
No, I mean there's a lot of things in the vitamin world that that I don't know exactly what they are unless I go through a medical book and read it, or medicines for that matter.
Do you know if when there came a point where you left Victor Conti that day, is that right?
Yes.
And I mean July 26, 2003.
Yes.
Did you leave with Daryl Hudson?
Yes.
The third gentleman other than Victor Conti that's in the room, did he leave with you?
I don't remember. I just remember me and Daryl leaving.
And where'd you go?
Back to Big Bear.
I assume you didn't drive?
Oh, we flew.
So you went to the airport?
Okay, went to the airport, and then we flew to Ontario Airport, and then drove back to Big Bear.
So, let me ask you a question.
Back to where Big Bear?
Big Bear.
That's a long trip, correct?
Yes, very nice trip.
Any particular reason you didn't just